Here's how both teams match up statistically. Of course, Chicago King with that eye-popping field goal percentage. That's the one you want to keep an eye on, and that, of course, means they get a lot of second and third opportunities in close. And as far as the keys to victory, Coach?
Keys to victory for King, they're going to have to continue to dominate that third game. They've got to go at Martin. He's gimped up a little bit, and they have to go after him. Lincoln, on the other hand, they have to have great games from McKinney and from Williams, and they better have some good outside shooting.
There were 8 yesterday. There's 4 this morning. And by 6 o'clock this evening, there will be only 2 left in the race for the Class AA State Championship. Tip control by Chicago King. Number 10 is Fred Schofield, and this is Jamie Brandon, 23, headed for the University of Illinois. Schofield doesn't put up a lot of shots. He doesn't have to.
Boxing 1 defense.
They'll try there. Oh, that's not what East St. Louis Lincoln likes to see off the bat.
Defensively important. Number 11 for Lincoln is man-to-man on Jamie Brandon. The other 4 ball players are in a box zone defense for Lincoln.
Schofield didn't score at all yesterday. He didn't have to against West Aurora. Now an easy steal, and Schofield quickly has 4, and King has an early lead, 4-0. Schofield scored 10 in that Chicago Public League Championship game. So all these players out here for Chicago King, as Sonny Cox noted, including Ahmad Sharif, are capable.
2-3 zone employed by Chicago King.
With the basketball now is Conzo Martin. Riley had a great game yesterday for East St. Louis Lincoln. They go down low to Williams, and it's knocked out of bounds. Left up by Rashard Griffith, the big freshman, 240 pounds.
Interesting to see, Jim, that that series down the floor, Conzo was outside at the perimeter.
Suffice to say, the Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln better have one high field goal percentage today.
Exactly, Jim. That's the call. That's the biggest key.
And McKinney, who's picking up the offensive flat, will drive baseline and pick up the personal foul, I believe, maybe before he shot the ball, or will they give him a free throw?
You know what you like about that, Jim, is McKinney took it right at him. He's not intimidated. He's been in these big games, and he went right at the big kid inside.
Well, as a matter of fact, speaking of McKinney and Mr. Martin, only a guy named Lou Boudreau and Vincent Jackson, who played on this team last year, have ever played in 3 straight title games. Of course, Jackson making that shot last year to win it. And McKinney and Conzo Martin are trying to join those 2 gentlemen that's playing in 3 straight title games.
McKinney he's not going to be intimidated. He's been in these big games.
I'll say one thing for Benny Lewis. He has taken the pressure off his team a lot. Coming into this game, he has said things like, no way will we beat them. I don't see anyone beating them. The players themselves don't necessarily feel that way.
Viewers can check out the boxing 1 defense now. Important man-for-man all over Jamie Brandon.
Brandon working one-on-one, top of the key. Look at this move, and he lost it out of bounds, but he was fouled before that by, it looks like, Chris McKinney, and McKinney says to the official, hey, he's throwing an elbow.
If you're a Landon Sonny Cox, you take an attitude, get your other people involved in the offense. Jamie Brandon's offense will come. Don't force the issue. Jamie needs to be relaxed and make the passes.
And, of course, the first team foul on the Tigers from East St. Louis Lincoln is Schofield inbound. Not where you want to get the ball inside. If you're East St. Louis Lincoln, you don't want an inbounds pass underneath the basket, and that's exactly where Jamie Brandon was to receive the basketball.
Oftentimes,
Schofield finds him inside.
Jamie Brandon is really intense enough for this ballgame. Oftentimes, King is criticized for being a little lethargic, going through the motions. These youngsters are really up for this game.
Conzo Martin, more importantly on that play, picked up his first foul. Brandon, who does it all, including from the free throw line, 80% on the year, shows you why, as King takes a 6-2 lead. They break the press by getting it in the middle of the floor. That's how you break the press.
Exactly how you break it. That's how you break down any defense, is go to the middle.
Riley thought about a shot, changed his mind, gets it over to his running mate Maurice Horton, who wears number 11. McKinney. There's a shot. Will it go? Yes, it will. Stanford Riley picks up where he left off yesterday with the 3, and it's a 6-5 ball game. Riley hit 16 yesterday, and the guards for East St. Louis Lincoln came in averaging 16 points between them. So that that number has to increase today if they want to stick with these guys. Griffith will turn around, miss it, but Schofield is there for his 6th point of the game.
That's what Coach Lewis talked about with Frank Bastoni on the pregame, that they had to block out and do a better job, and they didn't do it that time. Schofield got the easy second shot effort and basket.
Riley has McKinney open on the wing, spots it, but that closes up in a hurry. Now he'll penetrate. That's not the shot he wanted, but Martin's there for the rebound and the block.
Big players come up with big baskets.
Martin, who averages 17 rebounds per game, had 14 yesterday. Keeps his club close. And close is the word here today because when you're playing the Jaguars, it's like fooling around with a time bomb. You know, they can rip off 12 in a hurry. Sharif misses. Johnny Selby is there, and he is fouled on the way back up. And again, for the 2nd consecutive time. Oh, they call him for travel.
Jim, that's an excellent analogy about playing with a time bomb here. Checked out the move here. Here's the shot. You see Selby go up strong to the offensive board, get the rebound.
We won't see his feet, however.
His feet. Referee calling for shuffling.
Oh, Williams just had it rejected the other way, but they throw it away, and Martin picks it up. So a break for the Tigers. Now that is an important block because now Williams will be thinking about that every time he turns around, and now almost another turnover, but Mr. Martin there. Now Horton has had his shot blocked, and McKinney is there, puts it up, and he's fouled by the big guy, Rashard Griffith, and Sonny Cox is off the bench. Sonny, of course, has never had, and a lot of coaches have never had, a perfect season, but that is what he's trying for this year.
Well, it'll be the first one if he can get it done since 1981 when Quincy did it. But I think it's important here that East St. Louis is showing that moxie, that state title play that they've been involved in. They didn't rush things there when they got the turnover, and they are taking it back inside and going after the big guys.
Big foul because Rashard Griffith, as you can see, is exiting with 2 personal fouls. And a man whose spot he took over this year, Damian Porter, will be inserted into the Jaguar lineup as McKinney buries the free throw. And when you are the underdog, you better make the free throws.
You know, when you say you're the underdog, you've just won 3 consecutive state championships, and you come into your 4th chance and you're the underdog.
See, McKinney doesn't buy that, though. If I told him that, he'd say, man,
what you talking about?
Get it together. 9-8. But I say that only because of the talent that King possesses. Brandon, who likes to deal from the wing, pulls up. That's going to be short. Williams tips it out. Sharif is there. Another chance for the Jaguars. Low post Porter. Nice little shot over his head. And a foul underneath on Artegas Williams. And again, the 2nd chance for King.
Yeah, they get too many of those. It's going to be, lights out for St. Louis Lincoln.
Damian Porter is a man.
He lost his starting job to Griffin, the youngster. He's a strong lad. Very physical.
Misses the free throw, and McKinney does what coaches teach throughout the ages, screen out the free throw shooter. And he did so and was rewarded with a rebound. We're under 4 minutes played here in the 1st quarter. Semifinal game from the Assembly Hall. East St. Louis Lincoln trying to win 4 in a row. Nobody's ever done that. Trying to win their 5th overall. Martin in traffic. That leg hurt him on that time because he did not get up in the air like he usually does. And King with the basketball and the lead of 1.
You know, East St. Louis Lincoln has to go to Conzo inside, especially with Griffith on the bench. Go at Porter and go at Selby.
They go baseline to Brandon, who spins and deals.
There's the great versatility of a Jamie Brandon taking his guard inside in that box and 1.
East St. Louis Lincoln breaks the pressure nicely. McKinney. Does Riley get it again? You bet he does. Well, Stanford Riley has 5. And like we said in the early going, Riley has to be hot like he was yesterday if East St. Louis Lincoln wants to make a game of it. And a game it is. Chicago King leads it by 1. Schofield trying for his 8th point. In and out. Rebound. Porter had it, lost it. East St. Louis Lincoln makes a mistake, but Brandon with a great heads-up play, but he misses the shot.
Riley got back by was saving the ball at his opponent's end of the floor without paying a price for it.
Right, you never want to do that, but Martin with the head of about a 30-year-old basketball player, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Martin inside against the big guy. Up, no good. Porter, good defense.
Even though they weren't successful, I think that's a meal ticket that needs to be punched for East St. Louis Lincoln, is go down inside to Conzo.
2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Well, some people at Assembly Hall are already surprised. They thought it would be over already. Sharif, nice drive, can't get it. Porter's there, knocked away, foul, and it'll go against Stanford Riley. Well, you'd rather have him at the free throw line if you're East St. Louis Lincoln than putting up those one-footers.
Yeah. Excellent timing by Artegas-Williams.
Timeout on the floor, and a timeout for this from one of your network sponsors for East St. Louis Lincoln 11. Here's how the Jaguars of Chicago King advanced to Assembly Hall. They kind of ripped through the competition, and yesterday knocked off West Aurora. And that score a bit deceiving because it was a 20-point margin for Chicago King with 2 minutes left to go. And now East St. Louis Lincoln. East St. Louis Senior gave them a run, and of course Marion. That game was in overtime as Marion fell, and yesterday Elgin went by the wayside by 10, but a fine year for Elgin as well. Early on, King shooting 45%, East St. Louis Lincoln 38%. Brandon hangs. That is a very difficult shot. Ball is tipped out, and Sharif goes out and gets it. Again, another chance for King. That's why that field goal percentage was the way it was, Coach, is because of the second shot.
Exactly. Horton is still man-to-man on Jamie Brandon.
Selby misses, and look who comes out of there with a rebound. Stanford Riley.
Little guy on the floor.
5-7. They post high to Williams, who makes a good move, and Sharif steals it away from behind, and Schofield's headed down the other way. Nice shot.
Nice athletic skill by Schofield on the steal. Good move by Artegas-Williams. He needs to do more of that.
But good help by Sharif, who dropped down low to take it away from him.
Straight 2-3 zone employed by King. They've stayed with that defense throughout the tournament.
Jim, at the end of one quarter in last year's semifinal, Lincoln led 13-10.
Riley again. The life of Riley is keeping East St. Louis Lincoln alive for a fourth straight state championship. Riley is on fire, man. He's confident. 8 points for him.
East St. Louis stays with the box zone defense and the one-man, man-for-man. That's Horton all over Jamie Brandon.
Sharif will drive baseline. He took it to Martin, and Martin wisely left him alone. He put the hands up, and with 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter, King has the lead by 2. Sharif's a good-looking player, too.
East St. Louis needs to swing the ball and work Martin's side a little bit. He's always been on the weak side here.
Benny Lewis says the worst we can be after one quarter is down by 2, so let's hang on here and go now. Benny says go. Riley, not again. No, not this time. Rebound comes down to Porter. 1 second. Brandon from about 80 feet. Almost got it.
At the end of the first quarter, Chicago King 16.
King leads it by 2 after one. Don't go away. We're cooking at the Assembly Hall. Timeout now for this from one of your network sponsors, the Illinois Pork Producer. When this tournament started, 6 area teams from Chicago were down here to make up 3/4 of the Elite 8. Now there are 4 left, and 2 of those from the Chicago area. As you can see, East St. Louis Lincoln and Chicago King miles apart, but very close in this ball game because of the perimeter shooting.
Yeah, and that was one of the keys for East St. Louis Lincoln, was to have some good outside shooting, and Riley and Horton have done that. Riley's really had the hot hand.
Riley has hit 2 3-pointers. Conzo Martin is glad that Mr. Riley is rifling. Hello there. It's a green one here. Green, orange, and black. That's quite a combination.
King Jamie Brandon has been named Gatorade Circle of Champions Illinois High School Player of the Year. Damon Bailey of Bedford, Indiana is the Regional Player of the Year, and they're finalists for National. E.C. Hill, the girl from Young, the top Player of the Year in Illinois, named by Gatorade.
Sharif with good defense knocks it out of bounds. Again, the tempo in the favor of that man, Benny Lewis. He wanted to keep this a low-scoring game. Now remember, the last time these 2 teams played in December, East St. Louis Lincoln went down in flames by 31, but now they're in the ball game.
And don't think that's not a big thing, Jim. That helps. There's so much psychology to this game of basketball, and these young teenagers played with a close ball game here for the first 8 minutes, and that's going to help their confidence.
Jamie Brandon, baseline where he lives. That's why. Man, he is one basketball player you will hear about for years to come. 18-14 now. Riley last time made a mistake down there. He gave up his dribble, and he was in. McKinney needs that one, but he shoots it way out of bounds as Selvey saves it.
Jim, working the game at East St. Louis and King earlier in the year, one of the reasons that St. Louis was a different team was Artegas, Williams, and Horton, the transfers, weren't really molded into that team at all.
You know, the big thing here is when Jamie Brandon takes Horton inside, and Riley's on him now, he's got to have help. He's got to have some defensive help.
McKinney goes baseline, and he draws the foul from Damian Porter, and it's a crucial trip down for East St. Louis Lincoln because suddenly, thanks to Mr. Brandon's 2 quick baskets, they trail by 6. And Sonny Cox, who has won 243 games and lost but 29 in his 9th year, looks on. That was the 3rd team foul in Chicago King. And McKinney, he'll take it to the hole. He doesn't really care who's in there.
Council needs to touch the ball a few times here.
They'll look for him. Gonzo says, no, man, I'm double teamed down here. Riley with a good head fake, and Brandon bought it.
Conzo is double teamed at the low post at the block area. What he's going to have to do is flash just a little bit because he's got to touch the ball. He's got to make the big kids inside, the Porters and the Selvies, defend him.
There's Conzo Martin talking it over with his teammates. Riley made such a good head fake. Brandon was thinking, block it down to about the half-court mark and take it in and jam it because he was out there all alone on the wing with the little guard.
He said, let's just swing the ball to Conzo, post him up.
Oh, Riley, three-pointer again. That's 3 three-pointers for Stanford Riley, the 155-pound senior for Benny Lewis.
Token pressure here by East St. Louis defensively, and they'll drop back. See if they stay in their box-and-one type defense. More of a triangle 2 with McKinney following his man.
Horton tries to close off Brandon, and Sharif works out front against McKinney. Picks up the pick, but can't get the ball to fall, but up there tipping it in was either Damian Porter or Johnny Selvey.
Getting that time down the floor, East St. Louis goes straight man-to-man.
They give the bucket to Damian Porter, and McKinney drives and gets it rejected by Porter. Loose ball picked up by whom? Chicago Kings. Schofield up ahead to Selvey, who traveled, but nothing called. Gets it over to Sharif, to Brandon, count it.
You're right, he did travel with the ball. He's gotten by twice now, both into the floor with a travel.
Well, you know the rule. If it's not called, it's not traveling. And sometimes, you know, to talk about the officiating, the game moves so fast. Oh, a good strip by Brandon, and here comes King, and they're on the run. Look at his fast break. Count it.
That was just textbook, Jim. Very unselfish. They had the defense backpedaling all the way, just kept giving the ball up to one another until Brandon converted it.
Brandon now with 12, and the Tigers in trouble. We told you, if you want to see bust-out basketball, and King gets the chance, they'll tune it up. They can hit 5th gear quickly. Riley gets it blocked by Sharif, and now the Tigers are starting to take shots that are not to the liking of Benny Lewis.
Well, how many times has Conzo's touched the ball the last few times down the floor?
Selvey, turnaround, short, rebound, comes down to Artegas Williams.
They need to be patient. They need to remain in their half-court game and get the ball inside a little bit.
McKinney hangs, and we've got a blocking foul called on Johnny Selvey, who can't believe it.
Jim, a couple things. King's defense is really tough and strong right now, and this is the most intense I've seen Damian Porter play.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, in his mind, he's got to be saying, look, this is my second chance because I was replaced by the freshman Rashard Griffith, and I'm going to show some people. See, McKinney's body control is what caused the foul because Selvey originally had set up in the spot that it looked like he would arrive at.
Exactly.
McKinney needs every free throw he can get.
that's true. They need to hit everything, but they really need to remain patient. They can't let a little run by King get them excited and up their own tempo. They got to remain patient. They got to look to split the seams a little bit, but mainly they got to get the ball inside the Conzo a little bit. He's got to touch the ball to make this a real offensive threat for Lincoln.
Well, Jamie Brandon has 12, and I was going to say McKinney came in with shooting just 54% from the line, but he's 4 for 4 this morning. Of course, those statistics taken in the afternoon. Now, remember that.
Man-to-man defense by East St. Louis Lincoln.
7-point Jaguar lead. And as you may have noted yesterday, if you saw the ball game, they do play under control. They're not helter-skelter like some King teams have been. Brandon will be called for the 5-second violation, and Sonny Cox is livid.
Sonny Cox may be livid, but Jamie Brandon got called for a 5-second violation, and Jamie is upset thinking that he's giving hand check.
Well, for the folks at home, explain the 5-second violation.
You can dribble the ball for 4 seconds, but you better pass it while closely guarded within 6 feet. You can hold the ball while closely guarded for 5 seconds, but you got to get rid of it within that 5 seconds, or you lose possession of the ball to the defender.
Martin could not get it to fall. Martin almost had the rebound, but Brandon was down there. King is definitely in tune this game, I'll tell you that. Schofield, no. Tip not there. Selvey loses it out of bounds. Selvey almost had the tip and then lost the handle coming down with 3:22 remaining here in the first half.
For a big kid, Selvey is so light and quick off his feet. It's like poetry when he decides to go up. He's smooth.
Well, Selvey and Brandon both won a state championship badly because they have been down here before and it's been taken away. That one's going to be short by McKinney. You could tell that was short when it left his hands. Brandon, who was called for the 5-second violation, pulls up and says, fine, I'll take this shot, but it's not there. Riley on the run to McKinney. They've got a 2-on-1. Martin back to McKinney. Count.
Finished it off nicely, very smart in their execution. They were opportunistic. They saw the break was there, they had the numbers, and they took it.
And Conzo Martin was a part of the break. Before the game, I asked him out on the court about his knee. I said, how is it? He said, it's got to be okay today.
Tell you what, fellas, he's a gamer.
They go inside to Selvey, who has some problems, and he is fouled on the way up. It looks like Vargas Williams will be called for the personal foul.
We don't want to beat this to death, but just as King pound the ball inside there to Selvey, as you'll notice right here, he got the ball inside, forcing the issue defensively with East St. Louis Lincoln. Jim, that's what East St. Louis Lincoln has to do with Conzo at their offensive end of the floor. They've got to pound it inside to him and get their big kids in a little bit of foul trouble and get Conzo involved in the offense.
Rudy Hurt checks into the ball game now for Coach Benny Lewis. And Williams will check out because he has 2 personal fouls. Selvey cannot get the free throw to fall. And we mentioned this before, and this has nothing to do with your pro-King or anti-King as far as the outcome of this game, but as the people filter in for the Quincy Gordon Tech game, they will start rooting for East St. Louis Lincoln if they're still in it. Look at that stuff.
Yeah, that's an obvious, and that's just simply they want to play what they think is a weaker team.
We'll be back after this from one of your network sponsors, True Value Hardware. The big difference in basketball over the years, the break. They run it well.
The transition game, exciting part of the game, Jim, and there King ran it extremely well. Here you see at the other end with McKinney and Martin, the 2 experienced tournament champion kids from East St. Louis Lincoln. Excellent execution. And you know what's fun about that? Unselfish.
And when the ball doesn't touch the floor, that means you're dealing with perfection as far as the fast break. 12 of 26 for King at 46%. And they have gotten 9 more shots off, Coach. Rebounds, King. We figured that would be the case because of their size inside, leading Lincoln by 6.
That's not bad if they can stay there. If East St. Louis Lincoln can go down halftime, inside 7, 8 points, that's got to be a confidence builder.
Let's see if they can get the ball into Martin this trip down. We've got a foul out front. They call McKinney on an illegal pick, and boy, that's not what Benny Lewis needed.
No, you don't need to turn the ball over without getting a shot. Of course, King is in their 2-3 zone defense, and East St. Louis appears to be wishing to pick the guards to maybe get some perimeter shooting in.
King now in the bonus, and McKinney with his 2nd personal, and you don't need him to pick up 3 if you're Benny Lewis because the bench as we have seen, goes one deep, and that's it. Ahmad Sharif, he scored 11 points against Chicago Westinghouse in that Chicago Public League Championship. 8 points yesterday. He's a 73% free throw shooter, and the tip is controlled by Martin. Well, so Lincoln dodged the bullet that time, and we approach the 2-minute mark here at Assembly Hall in the first half. McKinney shut off, gets it into Martin, and a foul from behind on Damian Porter, who now has 2.
That's a meal ticket, gentlemen. You have to go inside to your all-stater. You've got to go in. The heart and soul of your ball club has to have the ball.
His second personal foul.
Martin, with that bad leg in the super sectional against Marion, had but 3 points. He played great defense and got his usual amount of boards. Yesterday, 14 points, 14 rebounds. He's pretty much money from the free throw line, especially in pressure games.
Can you imagine what his room must look like at home with 3 first-place title medallions? Think about that.
That's incredible. He's, you know, well, and they're back.
I've got about a 6-inch trophy from 8th grade for best free throw shooter. Does that count?
You're proud of it too, aren't you?
Yeah, it's got rust all over it. So Martin makes 2 free throws, and it's a 4-point ball game.
You were Michael Jordan in the church league.
I was praying every time I was at the line. Schofield has had a very good game. They go inside. The young freshman is back in, but Griffith misfires. Selby couldn't get the rebound. Martin was up ahead, but Stanford Riley didn't see it. It would have been a dangerous pass to begin with because he had to go over 4 Jaguars to get it to him.
Adrenaline heals pain, does it not? Causes pain to go away. Martin has forgotten a little bit about leg problems.
McKinney inside creates the opening, but Martin couldn't hit it. King comes out of there with a rebound as Jamie Brandon hands it over to Schofield.
You know, Jim Lincoln's doing a pretty good job defensively, man-to-man. They're doubling down on the post people to help out. They're not playing too badly. Ooh, hand check there got Riley in trouble.
As a matter of fact, Maurice Horton is getting under the skin of Jamie Brandon right now.
Yeah, Jamie's showing a little frustration. He's got his coach frustrated over the hand check.
That's only the first foul on Maurice Horton. As I said, the only person with 2 on East St. Louis Lincoln is Chris McKinney.
The longer the game goes, staying close, the more confidence in East St. Louis Lincoln builds up, because it was just a few months ago they lost by 31 to this ball club.
It was 78-47 at Salem, Illinois, in the Salem Superfan Shootout.
Jamie Brandon is going to go tell Johnny Selby something. And of course, last year at this very time in the semifinals, it was East St. Louis Lincoln beating Chicago King by 3, 60-57, but the Jaguars now back up by 6. They've kind of kept that margin here in the second quarter. 1:20 remaining here in the first half. Long cross-court pass. Riley for 3. That's going to be way off the mark, and Selby has the rebound. Well, I don't know if you wanted that shot, but hey, Riley's hit 3 of them, so you got to let him go.
Yeah, you got to let him go. Maybe that's too quick, too soon.
Schofield.
Lincoln needs a stop.
Hanging in the air is Brandon. Won't get it to fall, and we've got a whistle and a foul. Uh-oh, is that against McKinney? That's against McKinney, and he's got 3, and that is a very, very big play.
It's a big foul. McKinney was trying to check off, trying to box out, which his coach has probably been preaching to him, to keep the big kids off the board.
McKinney tells Benny Lewis, don't worry about it, that's my last one. But it does change the complexion of the game, because now whoever McKinney is guarding knows he can take it to him.
Well,
at least try.
I'd get him out in this situation. With only 52 seconds left in the first half, you got to get him on the bench. You don't want him to pick up number 4 now. And I'm sure that's what Coach Lewis is going to do. You've got to come back with him, I'm sure, in the third quarter, because of the depleted bench.
Artegas Williams in. And as Coach Mel O'Roosty here on St. Patrick's Day noted, McKinney will take a seat.
And Artegas Williams is now exposed to his 3rd foul.
That's right. Well, they'll go down and hang on for 1 shot here, more than likely trailing by 8. 31-23. King has hit their free throws here in the second quarter, and that's the reason for the margin.
The smart thing to do is be patient. Try to hit the.
No, they're not going to do it. They're going to take a shot, and they didn't want that shot. Rudy, here comes the ball, and it's stolen away. So King Gives it right back. Pass to Martin, who makes a great catch and then has to leave it for someone. And Brandon picks it up. We've got a Jaguar all alone at the other end. Brandon takes it down, and he will not get it, but we have a foul. And Rudy Hurt didn't want that shot.
Just what you do not want if you're a Lincoln fan. They needed to hold it for one shot, maybe hit a 3 and go in only 5 down.
There's the third foul on Ortega's way.
Oh boy, that whole play just blew up in the Tigers' face, and things are looking very, very good for Sonny Cox now, because he could go into the locker room with a 10-point lead and have 2 Tigers in foul trouble with 3 apiece.
Exactly. If East St. Louis Lincoln waits for that final shot, Jim, at worst they go in 8 points down. If they happen to hit a 3, it's 5. They hit the 2. You know, they're down 6 points, but the transition, the foul, this is not good if you're a Tiger fan.
Brandon, who averages 25, well on his way to that. Julian Young, number 52, checking in for Coach Benny Lewis. And if you don't have a deep bench, you can't see those numbers on the foul board. Not a lot of them anyway. Brandon's been money from the free throw line today, and it's a 10-point Chicago King lead. And this time, the pressure will be applied by the Jaguars, and they work it in. It's almost taken away by a hustling Schofield.
Well, Schofield is an underrated ball player. He's silent so much on the floor, but he comes up with big plays. He gets key baskets. He's a steady kid. Change of the defense, 1-2-2. Away from their 2-3 zone.
Well, Martin's been really quiet this first half. They just really haven't been able to get it into him. I believe he's only taken about 3 shots. Going to work the clock down, and now they better hurry. 5 seconds. Riley in trouble. He'll get it over to Horton for 3. Big shot. That's the way the first half comes to an end on an upbeat for East St. Louis Lincoln, but they had some foul trouble to deal with, and more importantly, they have the #1 rated team, or the best team I've seen in a long time, to contend with in the second half. Let's pause for these messages.